Have you ever wondered how far a government might go to justify war? Let's rewind to the early 1960s, a time marred by political tension and the looming specter of global conflict. This was the height of the Cold War, a period rife with paranoia, espionage, and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. At the heart of this tension was the small island nation of Cuba. The charismatic and controversial figure Fidel Castro had just risen to power, and his communist leanings had put him squarely at odds with his capitalist neighbors to the north, the United States. This ideological conflict set the stage for a series of clandestine operations and backroom dealings that would come to define this era. In the midst of this turmoil, a top-secret plan was being hatched within the corridors of power in Washington, D.C. Conceived by the U.S. Department of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, this plan was so audacious, so shocking, that it would remain a secret for nearly 4 decades. This was Operation Northwoods, a plan that, had it been executed, would have radically altered the course of history. Its proposals were as chilling as they were cunning, designed to deceive the American public and the international community, all in the name of justifying a military intervention in Cuba. The existence of Operation Northwoods raises questions that are as relevant today as they were in the 60s. How far might those in power be willing to go to achieve their political objectives? What lines are they prepared to cross? And how can we, as citizens, ensure that our leaders are held accountable for their actions? These are questions that we must grapple with as we uncover the unsettling reality of Operation Northwoods. But before we delve into the specifics of this clandestine operation, it is essential to understand the context in which it was conceived and the events that led to its creation. So what exactly did Operation Northwoods entail? Hold your breath as we delve deeper. Scene script. Buckle up as we unpack the shocking proposals of Operation Northwoods. Imagine the unthinkable. A government planning attacks on its own soil, its own citizens, and blaming it on a foreign adversary. That's the chilling heart of Operation Northwoods. The main proposals, now declassified, are as shocking as they are audacious. In the early 60s, with Cold War tensions running high, the CIA proposed a series of false flag operations. These operations were designed to create a wave of national indignation and fear, providing a pretext for military intervention in Cuba. The intention: to unseat Fidel Castro and his communist regime. The proposals were nothing short of alarming. The CIA considered staging terror attacks on US soil. These wouldn't be minor incidents either. The plans included bombing high-profile targets, potentially causing significant loss of life and property. The intent was clear: to create a climate of fear and outrage, fostering public support for war against Cuba. The audacity did not stop there. The CIA also proposed sinking American ships in Cuban waters. Again, the aim was to create a narrative of Cuban aggression, thus legitimizing military retaliation. The idea of sacrificing American lives and assets for political gain was, it seems, on the table. And then there were the plans for violent terrorism in US cities, orchestrated riots, sniper attacks, even the possibility of hijacking planes. The goal? To paint a picture of a nation under siege, a nation that had no choice but to fight back. In the corridors of power, these proposals were seriously considered. They were part of a broader strategy called Justification for US Military Intervention in Cuba, a chilling testament to the lengths some were willing to go in the name of national security and geopolitical dominance. But did these plans ever come to fruition? Let's find out. Now, we journey into the unraveling of Operation Northwoods and its aftermath. After the proposals were drafted, the next step was to present them to the Secretary of Defense, Robert McNamara. The details of the plan were meticulously laid out, each hypothetical scenario more audacious than the last. Yet despite the boldness of the plan, it was ultimately stopped in its tracks by President John F. Kennedy. Kennedy, with his firm belief in the principles of democracy and peace, outright rejected the plan. He saw the propositions for what they were: a dangerous manipulation that risked countless lives for political gain. This decision not only halted the operation, but also marked a significant turning point in his presidency. However, the story of Operation Northwoods did not end there. Decades later, in the 1990s, the operation was declassified and made public. The revelations sent shockwaves throughout the nation. The media caught wind of the story, and a storm ensued. News outlets and papers were filled with headlines about the CIA's shocking plan for false flag attacks, causing a public outcry and a wave of skepticism towards the government and its agencies. People were flabbergasted. The idea that their own government had once considered orchestrating acts of terrorism against them was unthinkable. They began to question the lengths to which their leaders would go to justify military action. The fallout was immense, and the trust between the public and the government was deeply shaken. The revelation of Operation Northwoods served as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. It highlighted the lengths to which those in power might go to achieve their objectives, even if it meant compromising the very principles they were supposed to uphold. So, what can we learn from this shocking chapter in US history? Let's wrap up. In the wake of Operation Northwoods, we're left with some sobering reflections. The revelations from this declassified plan serve as a stark reminder of the lengths to which entities, even those entrusted with our protection, may go in pursuit of their objectives. This operation underscores the significance of transparency in our institutions. When shrouded in secrecy, the line between right and wrong can become dangerously blurred. It's a potent reminder that in the pursuit of national security, we must never lose sight of our ethical boundaries. Furthermore, Operation Northwoods underscores the importance of accountability. It serves as a testament to the power of public scrutiny in holding our institutions accountable. No plan, no matter how well-intentioned, should ever go unchecked. As we remember Operation Northwoods, may we also remember the value of truth, justice, and the power of public scrutiny. May this be a lesson that guides us as we navigate the complexities of our modern world.